Meanwhile, the Taliban have been desperate to get international recognition as the official government of Afghanistan. So far, their efforts have been futile. Though America and the United Nations have allowed limited humanitarian assistance into the country, there is no larger provision for the recognition of economic assistance. Right now, hardly any government institution is working in Afghanistan. The sources of revenue for the Taliban government are also inadequate, so people are forced to starve, use up their savings, or depend on the little humanitarian assistance available. The barbaric punishments, public executions, amputations are not working in the Taliban's favor. But the regime has not given up. The Taliban leaders have been busy holding meetings and negotiations. In the latest, the Taliban government's acting foreign minister, Maulavi Amir Khan Muttaqi, held a meeting with the foreign minister of Uzbekistan and the accompanying delegation. As per reports, the minister discussed normalization of the situation in Afghanistan. Meanwhile, new reports have emerged stating that Russia will invite the Taliban leadership to Moscow to hold talks. The Kremlin says China, India, Iran and Pakistan would be part of the negotiations. Now, this meeting is scheduled to take place on the 20th of October, just days after the scheduled G20 summit on Afghanistan on the 12th of October. Moscow has moved to engage with the Taliban, but stopped short of officially recognizing the group and the government in Afghanistan. Even though Western leaders have held meetings with the Taliban recently, although the visit was for the release of a former British soldier who was detained by the Taliban on the Pakistani border last month, the Taliban used it as an opportunity to appeal for a refill of its cash-starved coffers. The British Prime Minister's High Representative for Afghan Transition and Martin Longden, the charge d'affaires of the UK mission to Afghanistan in Doha, were among the key attendees at that meeting. The discussion was tagged as substantial, but no development as far as recognition is concerned. The Taliban's meeting with the British diplomats in the capital Kabul came a day after Taliban officials met with an Iranian delegation, another first since assuming charge. The discussions were on trade ties. That's a key driver of Afghanistan's economy. And again, nothing on recognition. The only country acting as a bridge between the Taliban and the West is Qatar. Their officials were not just the first ones to visit Afghanistan, but also congratulate the Taliban for their victory. Qatar's foreign minister, along with his team, visited Kabul and met with the Taliban leadership. The two sides discussed bilateral ties, humanitarian aid, Afghanistan's future economic development, and international interaction. Although Pakistan and China are openly pushing for the global community to recognize the Taliban, as of now, no country has formally acknowledged the new Taliban government. Our correspondent Anas Malik has sent us this report from Kabul. Take a look.
Well, the Taliban's engagements with the international community continue with the Uzbek foreign minister visiting Kabul today and discussing normalization of relations with the Taliban. He met the Taliban's foreign minister Amir Khan Muttaqi. Uzbek foreign minister becomes the second foreign minister since the Taliban take over to visit the city of Kabul, the capital city of Kabul. The first was the Qatari foreign minister. We've seen a number of envoys having engaged with that with the Taliban with regards to normalcy of situation. On the other hand, we saw Russia inviting the Taliban for talks on Afghanistan that are scheduled to take place on the 20th of October. There is no word from the Taliban on that, whether they will be participating or not, but these talks that are to take place in Moscow on the 20th of October, they will be focusing specifically on Afghanistan. Anas Malik in Kabul, Afghanistan for WION World is One.